The first page of your story does more work than any other single page you'll write. It's the audition. A reader decides within the first few chapters whether they're fully staying or leaving. An editor decides even faster. And yet, most writers treat the opening like a warm-up lap, saving all the good material for later. That's backwards. The opening is where you prove you're worth the reader's time. In this video, I'll give you 7 simple ways to start your story, each one designed to grab the reader immediately and refuse to let them go. Each have been used by successful writers across every genre, and each one works for their own reason. The first way is to open with the decision. Drop your character into a moment where they have to choose. Not a small choice like what to eat for lunch. It should be a choice that reveals who they are. The decision doesn't need to be explained yet. The context can come later. What matters is that the reader sees a character under pressure, making a choice that has real consequences. Why does this work? Because decisions create instant investment. The reader wants to know what happens as a result. Was the choice right or wrong? And why did this character choose what they chose? You've given them 3 burning questions in the first paragraph, and now they have to keep reading to get the answers. The key here is that the stakes have to be visible immediately. The reader doesn't need the full backstory or even the character's name yet. They just need to feel that this choice matters. She pulled the lever and the bridge collapsed behind her. Tells you everything you need. Someone made a choice they can't take back. Now you're hooked. You don't know who she is yet, but you know what kind of person makes that call, and you want to find out if she survives it. The second way is to open with a contradiction. Show the reader something surprising that doesn't match what they expect. A warrior who's terrified of blood. A king begging on the street. A healer who refuses to help someone. Contradictions create instant curiosity because the reader's brain wants to resolve the mismatch. They see 2 things that shouldn't exist together, and they need to know why. This works especially well because it does double duty. It hooks the reader and it establishes character at the same time. When you open with a contradiction, you're telling the reader that this character is more complex than they initially appear. That's an implicit promise that the story will be worth exploring, because even the surface level details aren't simple. Don't explain the contradiction right away. Let it sit. Let the reader carry the question with them. The explanation can come chapters later, or it can unfold gradually through behavior and dialogue. The contradiction's job is just to create the question. The answer is what keeps them reading. The third way is to open in the middle of action. Imagine the character is already running from something, already bleeding, already surrounded. The threat is immediate, and the reader has no choice but to pay attention because there's no time to ease them in. This is called in medias res, and it's been around for thousands of years because it works. The reader meets the character in a moment of crisis, and that crisis does 2 things at once. It generates tension and it raises questions. Why are they running? Who's chasing them? How did they get here? What went wrong? Every one of those questions is a reason to keep reading. And the beauty of this approach is that the answers can be doled out slowly. The reader is already committed. They'll wait for the context. Ideally, the opening action should be connected to the actual story, like a real scene from a real point in the narrative, not a fake-out designed to trick someone into reading past the first page. The fourth way is to open with a voice. Sometimes, the strongest opening hook isn't an event, it's a personality. You open with a narrator or main character speaking directly to the reader with a voice so distinct, so specific, so alive, that the reader is hooked purely by who's talking. Think about a character who opens the story by saying something only they would say. Not a generic statement about the world or the weather. Something that reveals their unique worldview, their humor, their edge. The thing about dying is nobody ever tells you how boring the paperwork is. Now you want to know who's talking, why they're dead, and what kind of story treats death like paperwork. Voice openings are powerful but risky. If the voice isn't genuinely interesting and distinct, you've just opened your story with a character monologue that the reader skims past. The voice has to be sharp enough to stand on its own, without any action, any world detail, any plot. If it can do that, it's one of the strongest openings you can use. The test for a voice opening is brutal but simple. Read just the first paragraph out loud, completely isolated from the rest of the story. No context, no genre, no prior knowledge. If that paragraph alone makes someone want to keep listening just because the speaker is interesting, you've nailed it. If the paragraph only works because the reader already knows the setup, the voice isn't carrying enough weight. The fifth way is to open with a rule. State a rule of the world that immediately creates tension. In this city, you don't speak after sundown. Or, anyone caught carrying fire past the wall is executed on sight. Or, the dead come back. They always come back, but they never come back the same. something dramatic and attention-grabbing. Opening your story with a rule works because it tells the reader two things simultaneously. This world has structure, and that structure is going to be tested. The reader knows instinctively that the rule exists because someone is going to break it. You've promised conflict in a single sentence. And because the reader is already anticipating the violation before it happens, they're leaning forward from the very first line. The best rule openings also double as world building. The rule itself tells the reader something about the culture, the danger level, and the power dynamics of the world. Anyone caught carrying fire past the wall is executed, tells you there's a wall. Fire is dangerous or forbidden for a specific reason, and the authority enforcing this rule doesn't mess around. You've built a world in one line and created tension in the same breath. The sixth way is to open with a loss. Start your character at their lowest point. They've already lost something: the battle, the relationship, the home, the person they loved most. The story opens not with the event itself, but with the aftermath, the dust settling, the silence after the noise. This works because loss creates empathy instantly. You don't need to know the character's name to feel for someone sitting in the ruins of something they cared about. The reader's brain does the emotional math automatically. Someone hurting equals someone I care about. And now that I care about them, I want to see what they do next. Loss openings also set the trajectory of the story immediately. The character has already been knocked down. The entire story is about what they do from this point forward. Do they rebuild? Seek revenge? Collapse before slowly finding a reason to stand again? Or lash out at the world that hurt them? The reader can feel the shape of the story forming from the very first page. One thing to be careful with here: loss openings need to be earned emotionally, even though they're the very first thing the reader encounters. You're asking the audience to feel sadness for a character they just met. The way you earn that isn't through backstory, it's through sensory detail and specificity. Don't tell the reader the character lost their home. Show them standing in the ashes, holding the one object that survived. Don't tell the reader the character is grieving. Show them doing something small and human, like setting 2 plates for dinner out of habit before remembering they're alone now. The seventh way is to open with a secret. Reveal to the reader something important that the characters don't know yet. A truth about the world, a lie someone is telling, a danger approaching that nobody sees coming. The reader becomes the only person with this information, and that creates a specific kind of tension that's almost impossible to put down. When the reader knows something the characters don't, every single scene becomes charged. They're watching a character walk straight into a trap, or trust someone who's clearly lying to them. Screaming internally, "Don't go in there!" And they can't stop reading because they need to see what happens when the truth comes out. The key is that the secret has to be genuinely significant. If the reader knows a small, inconsequential detail the characters don't, who cares? But if the reader knows the mentor is the traitor, or the city they're traveling to is already destroyed, or the person they trust most made a deal with the enemy, now every interaction is layered with dramatic irony. Smiles feel sinister, reassurances feel like traps, and dramatic irony is one of the most addictive reading experiences there is. Ask yourself, does my opening do at least one of these things? Does it create a question the reader needs answered, or establish character, world, or conflict immediately? Can the reader get through it without wanting to stop? If you're not sure, try rewriting your first page using one of these 7 approaches and see how it feels. Those are the 7 ways. Open with a decision, a contradiction, mid-action, a voice, a rule, a loss, or a secret. Every one of them shares the same DNA. They give the reader a reason to stay before the story has even fully started. They create urgency, curiosity, or emotional investment within the span of a few sentences. And in a world where readers decide in seconds whether to keep going, that reason is the most important thing you'll ever write. One more practical tip. You can combine these approaches, and you should if you can do it cleanly. Open with a voice that reveals a contradiction. Open with a rule being broken in the middle of action. Open with a loss that forces a decision. The strongest openings often stack 2 or 3 of these techniques together. The more hooks you can fit naturally into a single first page without it feeling cluttered, the harder it is for anyone to put your story down. If this video helped you, hit the like button and leave a comment below. Also, if you want to get started writing your first one-shot manga, head over to mangascript.com to download the one-shot guide. It's a page-by-page breakdown of 3 high-quality manga one-shots, and it makes it 10 times easier to write your own script. And don't forget to join our Discord community. The link is in the description. It's a great place to share your work and connect with fellow creators. Thanks for watching.